So, Laura, do you want to stay in the head, or are you okay if I guide you into your body as well through a process?
Yeah, we can go into the body. Yeah.
Okay. And if at any point you feel like you're feeling too vulnerable or it's too much, or you'd rather us move attention elsewhere, of course you're in charge, and just say that.
Mm.
Yeah. Because it's really important that your embodied system feels safe enough and held to be with what's coming up for you. And, obviously in group, that can always either feel more supportive or it can feel intimidating or unsafe. So just want to let your parts know that. Yeah, so this resistance thing, the best place to start is to imagine yourself in the car. Kind of
Mm.
like, let's revisit that moment. And you're just noticing, first of all, what's happening for you in terms of activation. So you're looking, you're scanning, you can do it with your eyes open or eyes closed. You're just like imagining yourself in the parking lot, in your car, and you could be remembering or you could be feeling it right now, the degree of activation. So how much alarm, arousal, trigger, or we could just call it resistance, tension, right, was arising in your system, in your body. So you notice the amount of it, and then you locate where it's the loudest. So where are you feeling it the most within your body?
Um, my left hip.
Mm-hmm. So then you just bring your inner attention and your breath towards your left hip. And we're not working to change it. We're not trying to make it go away. We're just bringing our full attention and our breath into that area of your body. And you're just resting your attention there. And we're asking the energetics of it, is this fear or is this anger? The sensations, the energy, the tension, the resistance. Is this fear? Is this anger?
I want to go with anger. Yeah.
Okay. So when you tune into the tension in your hip, the activation in your hip, and you name it as anger, this is anger. Now, I am angry, but this is anger. That feels like a yes to your system.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. So we're just noticing that. So this is kind of like what we're imagining. Let's say you were out in the car and you're waiting to go into the gym and you're noticing all this resistance. And generally, you sat there for 2 hours. So something was happening, right? You were probably distracting yourself in some ways. I don't know whether you were on the phone or listening to music or ruminating, right? Obviously, something was happening where you're like, I got all this resistance, but I'm not actually in the resistance itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so now what we want to do is turn towards. So we kind of opened today with this idea of turning towards what we're experiencing in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're turning towards your left hip, and your left hip has this sensation that you're naming as resistance. It's like, this is where I'm holding it
Mm-hmm.
in my body. And then because we know that when we're in an alarmed or activated or triggered or even frustrated state where there's tension, resistance within our body, so there's all these felt sensations, we know that that's sympathetic energy. And sympathetic energy is either anger or fear. And the spectrum of it, like we can use all the words, all the fancy words, right? Like there can be rage and there could just be low grade irritability, right? But that's the spectrum, let's say, of anger. So for simple sake, it's like, is this the energy of anger or is this the energy of fear? Because it is energy that you're feeling within your body. It's sensations of chemical reactions. Okay. So tuning in again, this is anger. That feels right.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do this? Like, there's kind of this,
Yeah. So now you're noticing that you went to the head.
mhm.
So this is good. We're going to go to the cognitions. So
Yeah.
now you're hearing what you're saying,
Mhm.
which is exactly where we want to go next once we name it as anger. So if you're naming it as anger or frustration,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
Then we stay with it. And then the next question is, what am I hearing myself say?
Yeah. I'm
What?
like,
And you said what? Why?
why do we have to do this?
Yeah,
It's
good.
uncomfortable. It's,
Nice.
um, uh,
And then you reset and just be like, what am I hearing myself say about this? Just keep resetting with that.
it's just like, why do we have to do this? Is this necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's something about uh like I think I might have some warped body image thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um because like I haven't felt it necessary to do this and until recently kind of
Mm.
like um like I feel like it's I don't know, like it's okay to be curvy. It's okay to be overweight.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
okay to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's that, like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big voice.
Can I take you through like a deeper inquiry process? Because you'll probably get there.
Okay.
So instead of us sort of just trying to float about to link it all,
Yeah.
if we stay connected to the body and the hip and those and the sensations, I'll just ask a bunch of questions over and over again that will take you down probably to your core belief.
Mm,
Okay. So that's what we will do next. And it's probably going to link into all that.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we started with, it sounds to me that the loudest stressful thought is, why do we have to do this?
Mm-hmm. Why do
Okay.
we?
Okay. So eyes open or eyes closed. Can you tune back into your body system? So finding your breath. So we want to stay anchored in the body and finding that place of activation. It might have moved, or if it's still in the hip, bring your awareness there again. Because when we're inquiring, we want to stay connected in this way because it actually reveals more than if we move up into the head space and the cognitive space. Because we're no longer analyzing, we're actually listening. So this is what it means to be listening, right? We're curious, we're aware. So you heard, why do we have to do this? So notice any kind of resistance that comes up when you hear that statement. Why do we have to do this? And the next question is, what about doing this? So this being go into the gym, go to the gym, workout. Just want to name what that is. Is it workout?
Yeah, it's a workout. Yeah.
Okay. Why do we have to work out?
Yeah. Why do we
Okay.
have to work out?
Okay. So why do we have to work out? The next question is, what about working out? Do I resist or don't I like?
Mm.
And then just notice the first thing you hear. Very basic sentence.
It's the time.
Do you hear like I'm wasting time? It's a waste of time.
Time idea. I could be doing other things other than the gym.
Mm-hmm. Good.
It's
That's good.
yeah, I'd rather be doing other things.
I'd rather be doing other things.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk you down the ladder. So why do we have to work out? What about working out? Am I resisting? Your reaction or response to that was, well, I could be doing other things. Okay. So there's this idea that other things are more important than working out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And because I can't do other things, what about that? Do I resist or don't I like?
What don't I like about
And
yeah, it's just a time. It's a time thing.
another way is I could be doing other things. And then what do I hear myself say in reaction to that?
Why? Well, I hear like, yeah, there's so many other things that I could be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's not. Mm,
Let's go back and reset to the first question. What about going to the gym? Do I resist or don't I like?
um, well, it's like a place where I don't feel like I fit in.
Okay.
It's not. I don't feel like it's my. Um, it's not my tribe. It's not really my. Um, doesn't feel like my community.
So I don't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So the question was, what about going to the gym? Do I resist? And you heard, I don't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So something about not fitting in is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
okay.
most of the people in the gym are in good shape and fit and athletic, and I'm not those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really, yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm in the right place.
Mm-hmm. This is good. Mm-hmm. Let's stay with this thread. So when I feel into resistance about going to the gym, what comes up for me is that I notice that I don't fit in. A part of me doesn't fit in. and I don't fit in because everybody else is fit or in shape. Okay. And what about everybody else being fit and in shape and you feeling different from them? Do I resist? Or what do I hear myself say in response to that?
Well, that it's really hard for me to measure up and,
Mm-hmm.
and um, yeah, I'm not. Also, it's a lot of a younger crowd.
Mm.
Um, so I feel like older and
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to feel a little emotion.
It's okay.
It's yeah, it's not the like the most it's not the like most like it's not a place where I feel that I don't know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite the same as everybody there and
Yes. So because I don't fit in, I feel different.
mm-hmm.
And in the feeling different of it, is there a part of you that feels like they don't belong or she doesn't belong?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my club. It's not my
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I'm gonna, if you're comfortable, let's go one step lower on the ladder. So we're not we're not agreeing that all of this is true and that you don't fit in and you don't belong, but to your system right now, this is very real. So we're giving it space for it to be with the real feelings associated with this. And this is more of a fear now than it is anger.
Mm.
So if you don't belong and you don't fit in, what are you afraid might happen next?
Um, um, I don't know. I'll be treated differently, or
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. It's I don't know. I just feel like um, I feel like I'm gonna fail at it, or
Mm-hmm.
just not designed to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just not that person.
Mm-hmm. So the risk to your system is that because uh, and in the being different and the not fitting in, there's a standing out too, right?
Yeah.
The fear of standing out. So in that, the system is afraid that you might fail, you might not do it well.
Yeah.
And if you fail at this and you don't do it well, what about that are you most afraid of?
Well, I just know that it's better for me to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have my life at risk. Like
So,
it's like
yeah.
stakes feel pretty high if I fail at it
And the failing at it would be because
because I can't. do it. I just can't. I just can't commit. I just.
Commit. So failing wouldn't be a direct result of not being able to, quote, do the exercises, but it's the not being able to commit to the program.
Yeah.
And the reason why your system is feeling resistance to committing to the program is because of this deeper part, this deeper fear of not fitting in. And I'm going to add something to it just to support your system, because you're hitting on a core fear, which is the fear of humiliation.
Mm.
So if I don't do it well, and if I stand out and I'm different, then the risk is to my system that I could be humiliated.
Yeah.
And that feels like death
Yeah.
to our ego system. And so all your protectors are coming online, right? They're resisting. Your protectors are like, don't risk that. We don't want you to be humiliated. So we're going to have you sit here and tell you that you got other stuff to be doing, because that's safer. So going into the gym doesn't feel safe
Mm.
to your parts. So you have more vulnerable parts. And we don't have to go here today, but the next layer would be, is this familiar? And is there a younger part that has felt something similar?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there is. There's little Laura in junior high and elementary, not being picked on the basketball team and not being just being ostracized by everyone and being humiliated again and again and again.
Well, I'm really feeling hurt. I have tears in my eyes. Yeah, so she's there, where that's who's coming up and that's who's resisting. She's scared. Yeah. So from your heart to her heart, your adult Laura, the Laura who's here today, from your heart to her heart, can you see her? Okay. And can you find a way to turn towards her so she knows that you're present to her, that she's seen? And quietly, you don't have to do this out loud, but quietly letting her know, finding a way to validate her experience so that she knows that you see her. So we're validating what she went through as real. And from your heart to her heart, you're holding her in that. We're not trying to take it away from her. We're letting her know that was really, really hard and really painful. And can you tune into how she made sense out of it? What did she tell herself about herself?
That she wasn't welcome. She wasn't liked. She wasn't included. And I never really knew what caused that, but yeah.
So she internalized, it means I'm not liked and I'm not welcomed. So do the words I don't belong fit?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she didn't feel a sense of belonging at school.
So we want her to know that that's over now. We want her to know that she's no longer in elementary school and junior high and that it's over now. So, what would you like her to know about herself that's more true than what she told herself and how she made sense out of it?
Mm. Ah, it was a case of just popular girls
Mm-hmm.
running the show,
Hmm.
and yeah, I don't know how they were able to orchestra that exclusion, but it was really mean and
Mm.
it was really difficult, but it wasn't my fault. And
Mm.
it wasn't my fault. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy teenage girls uh,
Mm-hmm.
being mean, just being mean, being
Yeah.
really mean. And I became a target and for their meanness. And yeah, but it wasn't because I was bad or it was just a weird situation of mean girls excluding.
Mm-hmm. And that's painful and real, right? But you said it wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would be empowering for her to hear about herself? So imagining that there was some beautiful guide or a parent figure or a loving figure that came in to support her. What would she love to hear or needs to hear?
That she's perfect just the way she is, and she didn't deserve to experience that,
Mm.
and I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Mm.
And um, yeah.
And it's really helpful for us to update our parts and let them know kind of where we're at now and how we're doing now. So, what would you like this part to know about kind of who she becomes?
um, that that this was a really difficult time, but it actually played a really big role in creating um, a beautiful life afterwards. Like it was a hardship that
Mm.
endured, but um, it shifted the trajectory, and things got a lot better. Things got a lot better.
Hmm.
It got a lot better, um, and I found friends in high school and university, and I belonged, and I was able to fit in, and yeah, so it did get better. It got a
Hmm.
lot better. Got a lot better. High school, things
Amazing.
shifted dramatically. Yeah.
So beautiful. And we just want to take this part with us. So, tuning into your part and just seeing if she's willing and ready to come with you. You're just going to find a magical way to remove her from that scene so she's no longer in it and bring her to either your inner sanctuary or your inner community, a place within where all your parts can live and exist and be held by you. You're just going to bring her to that sacred place. I like to call it an inner sanctuary. And just tune in and see if this part is okay to be there, letting her know that this is a very safe, sacred place where she's allowed to just be fully expressed. Only good can enter. So tuning in to see if she's okay with you leaving her there, or if she needs any extra supports or guides or healings.
She seems good there, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So, Laura, to bring this to completion, we're going to don't open your eyes yet, but we're going to bring your attention back to your current situation of you sitting in the car with all that resistance.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to believe about yourself now as it relates to going to the gym?
That this is not the same situation as elementary, junior high, and the people in the gym are not going to humiliate me or make fun of me or yeah, that it's a safe place and I can do it. I can do and I can also become someone that fits in a gym. I can become that. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's within the realm of possibility.
Can you take this one step further and imagine kind of stepping into that version of yourself where you know this is a safe place, I can do it, I can become someone that fits in the gym? So you're now kind of using your mind movie into the future. You're projecting into the future where you're seeing yourself get out of the car, going to the gym, and you're embodying these new beliefs and these new truths. And you're seeing yourself become this person, this version of yourself that is going to the gym 3 days a week, that's fit, that's feeling strong in their body. So just holding that vision and then bringing it into your heart and your body and generating the feeling. So what would it feel like to be that version of yourself?
It would feel amazing. It would feel I would feel really strong. I feel really proud. Probably feel really sexy. Yeah, I feel like it would be a really, just really in charge of my body and my health. I feel like I'm on track for health and wellness, and yeah, I wouldn't worry about things.
So embodying this, like I'm on track for health and wellness, and like really, really feeling that you got that. Like you're taking charge of it in the same way that you took charge of your healing from your breast cancer. Right? So you're like, I'm in charge of my health and wellness. What's the end result of that? What's the end feeling result of that? You would feel more of what?
I feel more in control, more empowered, more healthy, um, stronger.
When you're in the state of feeling empowered, what does that generate in your body and in your heart?
Mm, it's like happiness and feeling secure and um,
Yeah.
yeah, just
So, so can you breathe in the happiness? And is this the state that you would like to feel more of?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we think about, as we come to a close, when we think about the resistance, we now understand what and where the resistance was coming from, what part, right? Why it's there. And that the resistance is preventing you and capital S, Laura, capital S, self, from embodying the state that you actually want to be in, which is this state of empowerment, this state of happiness, feeling strength, feeling proud. And going to the gym is kind of the entry into that, right? Every time you go to the gym, it's like, I'm doing this because I'm stepping into empowerment, strength, sexiness, happiness. And that's the feeling state that I desire.
mm,
So you can always come back to that anytime, right? Anytime. It's like, what is it that I'm desiring more of? So when you're ready, I'm just going to kind of talk a bit about this, Laura, but take your time to come back into this space together. You don't have to open your eyes fast. And just linger in that. Um, but coming back to the notion of radical responsibility, once we know what the desired result is, the desired state is, we can interrupt and be like, what is it that I'm desiring more of? What is it that I'm seeking to experience more of? What's the state that I'm seeking to live from? Right? And then we just tune into it as if it's already here. Now that you have a sense of it, right? You're not making it up. You're not just thinking about it. You've journeyed into it, and that came up through you. That just bubbled up through all your parts, through your whole embodied system, right? That is truth. That's your truth. And it's not because you wrote it all out or you thought about it up in the ethers, right? It is an embodied truth that came through you. And it makes sense.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so tuning in now, how are you? Where's your state at now versus kind of where you were when we started tonight?
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've figured that out. So we've unearthed a big one. Yeah, and the resistance. Yeah, it's it's good to know and to name it and to yeah and yeah, I feel like I can work with this a little bit. Like, I can work with that part of me
Mm-hmm.
and offer her some love when she's resisting.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, um, no words.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
thank you for the process. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for committing to it and engaging in it.
Yeah, and thanks, Kaylee, for holding space.
Hmm. Yeah.